everyone, it is Jennifer Stroman and we are going to do How to Lash Out Loud. How was Amanda and Jeannie's updates and info? Was that not cool? I loved Amanda's questions, although some of them were a little bit, yeah. So I am really excited to come to you today and talk to you about how to lash out loud. We're going to be covering a lot of different subjects. As you hop in, just let me know that you are here. Tell me hi. Obviously, if you're on the replay, you're watching the replay, so comment replay below. I know you watched it. So we are going to talk about how to lash out loud. Hey, Danielle. And the things that I want to cover are some pretty basic stuff, but we're going to get a little more detailed. So it's not so much just the beginners. It's going to be a little bit more, hey, Cal, I miss you. Hey, Jeannie. So we're going to talk about who would be a good customer and who would be a good prospect for your business. We're going to talk about the difference in prospecting and marketing. We're going to talk about what if someone asks you what you do? What do you say? We're also going to talk about how to bring up Red Aspen's business side, the opportunity in a conversation. Hey, everyone. How are y'all? And then we're going to talk about your elevator pitch and give you some information about that and how to create your own. So I'm not going to wait too long. Again, I'm Jennifer Stroman, and we're just going to get on here. As Jeannie and Amanda were doing their little updates and stuff, I was kind of drinking this down, so I'm getting a little flushed now. Just a little flushed. It wasn't supposed to be like forever, and I was watching them and I'm just like drinking. I'm like, okay, I gotta slow it down just a little bit, Jen, just slow it down. So let's get into it. I don't want to wait any longer. There's plenty of people on here now, so let's talk about who would be a good customer or a prospect for you. I really have to be honest about this. There are so many possibilities, and you really have to open up your mind to the possibilities, because you do things every day, right? Like you go to the grocery store, you take your kids to practice, you're, run to the tire shop, whatever. There's all kinds of things, paying your taxes, I don't know. You got to do stuff, right? Maybe you actually work outside the home, and so you're gone and you're at work. Yes, introverts unite. Thank you, Cal. So you're out and about constantly. And if you are at home, then it's when you run your errands. But there are so many possibilities right in front of you, and we forget about that, especially when we are the introverts, so we want to stay home or we like to be behind the screen. It's hard to remember, hey, there's actual people out there, and you can actually talk to them. They're human beings and they talk back. Bet you didn't even know that. So you've got to figure out how to get yourself out of that comfort zone and out of that shell and just talk to people. They're human. They're going to talk to you. And you've got to start looking in other places than just in your backyard. Stop looking at your warm market, because I got to be honest, typically your warm market are not your best supporters. So just saying, get out of your comfort zone. That's the hardest thing for people, because we have a tendency to want to be where we are. We're comfortable, right? We don't want to get out of that. So really get out of that. Start opening up your mind to other places that you can start finding people, whether it be customers or prospects. And if you do it with confidence, if you carry yourself well, people aren't going to know that you're scared. Maybe you are scared to talk to them. Maybe you don't like talking to people. If you just do it confidently, they won't ever notice. So the other thing is, we're so hard on ourselves. So when you are looking around and you're thinking about things, don't be so hard on yourself. It's okay. It's okay to approach someone. Stop overthinking it. And more so, move forward imperfectly. I say that a lot. Move forward imperfectly. We're not perfect. And if you're perfect and you're on here, oh my gosh, like that's amazing, because we're not perfect, okay? None of us are perfect. If you're perfect, raise your hand. That's what I thought. Okay, so move forward imperfectly. You're going to sometimes fail forward, sometimes not do things. So be clear with that. Before you ever start to approach the conversation with someone, just know that it's not gonna be perfect. And if it is, that's a really good day for you. So having said that, prospecting versus marketing. I really want to get into this because some people have a tendency to be a marketer more than a prospector. So what's the difference? Thanks, Veronica. They are Erica. They're my favorite. So prospecting and marketing, some people tend to do the marketing a little more. It's not a bad thing, but marketing's very passive, okay? It's the Facebook Live, it's the post you put out, it's the business card you dropped and you hope somebody will pick it up and call you. It's the little post that you left, a blog or a flyer, things like that. And you really, marketing is creating that relationship, maybe building the rapport. It's kind of getting out there and putting yourself out there. Does everybody get that? Everybody understand the marketing? So it's a very passive way to grow your business. It's going to take you a lot longer to grow your business than actively prospecting. Does everybody understand that? So the difference is the prospecting is active. It's an active way of talking to people. It's an active way of reaching out to those that may be good customers or maybe good prospects for your business, maybe good brand ambassadors. So these are people that you talk to on an everyday, either whether online or in person, and you interact with these in your prospecting. If you're prospecting, you get to the point a lot sooner, okay? We don't beat around the bush when we prospect. Marketing, you're kind of, I was gonna say lollygagging around, you're dragging your feet, talking to them, spending 6, 8, 10 times talking to them, asking them every question in the book. And prospecting, you get to the point. You don't have to wait for 11 questions and on the 12th question you ask about the business. You get to the point with prospects. Whether it be online or in person, get to the point. There is no BS in between. So when you're getting to the point with someone, you're cutting out all of the gunk, because people want you to be direct with them. They want you to be honest. So if you're going to talk to them and you're going to sit there and you know that you're going to ask about the business, but you're playing along, and people feel that. I know when I get a message from someone who wants to ask me for a favor and they're like, hey, how have you been? And all the small talk. Anybody else got that before? And you're just like, get to the point, right? Like, tell me what you want so I can move on. A lot of people are like that, surprisingly. So get to the point with it. So prospecting versus marketing, understand how you're approaching someone. If you're just marketing, you just want to put yourself out there, you just want to give them a card and walk away, that's cool. But if you're wanting to prospect, you're really wanting to ask questions, you're really wanting to know more about them, you need to be able to get to that point. So what if someone asks you what you do? What do you say? This is where I'm going to get some interaction from you. Yes, it's a waste of your time. So I would love to hear. I'm going to tell you what I would say and what I suggest, and it's not perfect. It's not, we all move forward imperfectly, right? So it's not going to be 100% perfect. You don't have to use what I say as your golden rule, but I would love for you to share with me, what do you say if someone asks you what you do? What is your response? And as you're typing those in and putting them in the comments, I'm going to give you a little bit of tips with talking about what do you do? Learn to posture yourself. You're a professional. We're professionals here. We are founding brand ambassadors. We're brand ambassadors. We are leaders in this company. We are professional. And you need to act like you're a professional. Hold yourself accountable as a professional. That is the number one thing that you need to remember before you ever respond to someone about what do you do. The other thing is, don't get all excited when someone asks you what you do. Like, oh my gosh, they asked me what I did. I get to tell them, I get to spam, I get to just like word vomit all over them. I can't wait, I can't wait, I can't. Don't do that, okay? Do not be like Elf and like, Santa! Like, you can't get excited because they asked you what you did and you're like, yay, I get to tell them about my lashes. Like, just don't, simmer down. Simmer down. I don't know the last time that I talked to an attorney or a doctor who was like, yay, I get to tell them I'm a doctor. They don't do that. Okay, they're professional. You're gonna scare people off word vomiting and acting like that. So don't get overly excited. Yes, it's exciting that someone opened that door for you to talk about the business, but it is not exciting for you to just vomit all over them, right? So just don't do that. What you need to do is hold yourself up a little bit more, posture yourself a little more, and remember that. Don't be that person. But amateur network marketers have a tendency to over-exaggerate and try to be impressive. Tell me if you've ever heard this. You talk to someone, you're like, what do you do? Oh, I'm a network marketer and I'm so successful and I make such and such and such. And they start telling you their whole statistics and their wins and their, all of that. Like, nobody cares. Nobody really cares. And it actually pushes you away, right? So if somebody were to come to you and be like, I'm part of $1 billion ground floor opportunity and you can't lose by getting with me and we're just awesome and we're amazing and we rock it. Like, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Okay? So, and if you agree with me, tell me you agree. Like, nobody cares. Nobody wants to hear, let's be honest. Let's be honest. We care about our success. We don't really care about other success. Now, I say that but I'm not meaning that entirely. I mean, obviously I cheer everybody on. I'm happy for them. I love that they're successful. But when you get down to brass tacks, you don't want to hear about someone's success when you're introducing yourself and they're telling you, hi, yes, I'm $1 billion. No, we don't care. We don't care. I'm a mom. I got kids. Like I got my life. Like I don't care about your success. So reality is, if you try to sound impressive, you're going to be not so impressive. So try to avoid that. The other thing is, say as little as possible. Don't be big. Don't be elaborate. Don't be too impressive. Just short, sweet, to the point. So I asked y'all, what would you say about what do you do? How would you respond if somebody asked you, what do you do? What do you do, Shannon? What do you do, Veronica? What do you do, Katie? What do you do, Amanda? What do you do? I mean, like, what do you respond? What I like to really go into a setting like that is to understand that I'm going to be listening more than I'm going to be talking. Okay, I'm going to have my ears open. I'm not really going to do a whole lot of speaking. So that's the third tip that I give you, is don't go into too many details. Don't share too much right off the bat. The less you say, the better. Okay, the more you listen, the better. So what do you say if someone asks you what you do? First off, my question to you is, do you do anything other than Red Aspen? Are you working outside the home? Do you own a business? Do you own a boutique? Are you a hairstylist? Are you a doctor? Are you a pharmacist? Do you work at H-E-B? Like, what do you do? Do you do something else other than Red Aspen? Are you a mom of 5 kids? Are you, doing anything? If you are, that's how you start. Well, I'm a pharmacist and I own a home-based business. Or I'm a hairstylist and I own a home-based business. That's a really good way for you to open it up. If you only do Red Aspen and that is the only thing you do, then say, I own a home-based business. I'm a mom and I own a home-based business. Okay? But either one, you need to end it with, what do you do? So they ask, what do you do? Oh, I'm a mom of 4, my husband, blah, 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 whatever. Or you could just say, oh, I own a home-based business. What do you do? What do you do? The point is, what do you do? Ask them, get them talking. Because just like I mentioned that we don't care about other people's success, the other thing is, if you're honest with yourself, people like to talk. People like to talk about themselves. People like to share. People don't listen to you anymore. How many of you, raise your hand if your kids don't listen to you? If your kids don't listen to what you have to say. What about your husbands? Do your husbands listen to you? Do your bosses listen to you? Do your friends listen to you? Who listens anymore? Nobody. So if you listen to someone and you let them talk, you make them feel important. And now you're pulling a little bit of leverage with them. So if you're listening to them and you're letting them chit chat with you, you're really getting a connection with them because they feel like, wow, this person cares. This person really thinks that, cares about what I'm doing. They're investing in what I'm talking about. Like, this is phenomenal. My kids don't listen to me. So think of it that way. So somebody asks you what you do, you've postured yourself, you're a professional, you're not clapping and everything, and you just go into it with, I own a home-based business, what do you do? And open those ears, open them up, okay? Because they're gonna give you a lot of really good information that could help you slither your way into talking about the opportunity. So I don't go into, oh, I am a corporate sponsor, or I'm a founding brand ambassador, or I'm a brand ambassador for Red Aspen. I don't do that. And I don't go into, I'm a network marketer, or I'm a direct sales. No, I just say I own a home-based business. Okay, curiosity, create the curiosity. What they're gonna wanna know more. I promise they're gonna wanna know more. So let's move on to the next thing. Let the conversation flow. If you don't have an opportunity to bring up what you do, don't worry about it. You'll have an opportunity eventually. So just keep the conversation going. Build that relationship. The opportunity conversation will come, I promise. So how do you bring up the business opportunity in conversation? When do you bring it up? Is there ever a time that you bring up Red Aspen, or do you always chat with these people forever and ever and never bring it up? I mean, they can go look at your profile or look you up and maybe they'll find you. Like, when do you talk about it, right? First, again, remember, generally, when you're talking to someone, their favorite subject is them. Their favorite subject is going to be whatever they're doing themselves. I need a drink. Hold on. So ask questions about them. Use the form method. Does anybody know what the form method is? Throw me up some hearts if you know what the form method is. If you do not, the form method is family, occupation, recreation, money. So use the form method when talking to someone. It keeps things flowing. So what do you mean family, occupation, recreation, money? You go through a list of things to conversate with these people, like converse with these people, talk with them, and get to know them. So if you're on Facebook, you're going to do a little more of the form than if you're in person. If you're in person and you're sitting at your daughter's dance class, you can just be like, hey, what do you know, oh, is that your daughter? She's really cute. And you can chit chat. That's different than if you're on social media and you're messaging or you're voice messaging. And in that sense, use the form, talk to them. What about their family? Are they married? Do they have kids? You know, what do they do? How do they, I mean, go through the step by step. What do they work outside the home? What do they do when they work outside the home? Is that interesting? Do they enjoy it? How long have they been doing it? There's so many questions that can lead into talking about the opportunity. So why do form? Why are you telling me this, Jen? Why are you telling me to ask these questions and talk to these people? Because you're trying to find a connection. You're trying to find something that you two both have in common. Maybe they're a banker and you used to work in a bank. Maybe they love to skydive and that's what you did yesterday. You know, whatever it is, find a connection. Maybe they love makeup. They've been in the industry for 10 years and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm a makeup artist. Whatever it is, find a connection, start talking to them about it. You want to find something that you two can be on the same level with. Maybe they have 4 kids and you have 4 kids. Whatever it is, connect. Once you get that connection, you start talking to them and feeling them out and find out whether or not, would this person be a good customer? Would this person be a good prospect? Are you liking their vibe? Are you not feeling it so much? What is it? Is it somebody that you would like to work with? Or is it somebody that you're, if it's somebody that you're not too happy about, that's fine. Keep conversing with them and move on, but know that you probably aren't going to bring it up unless they bring it up. If it's a customer, maybe you'll bring it up here or there. You got to kind of feel that out and know. If it's somebody that you want to prospect, you need to tell them. You need to be upfront and just tell them. At some point, you can ask them, would you be open to working with me on a side project that wouldn't interfere with what you currently do? Okay, you want me to say that again? Would you be open to working with me on a side project if it didn't interfere with what you are currently doing or what you currently do? Okay, ask them. If they say no, you say no problem. If not, no biggie, like let it go. Don't harp on it, okay? Some people are just not gonna join you. It's not a big deal. Don't waste your breath trying to convince them. If you ask them and they say no, no does not mean no forever, but it means no right now, so move on. Don't try to be like, oh, so you don't want to make some money? Like, we can make money over here. Oh my gosh, so you're trying to tell me that you don't wear lashes? Well, girl, you need to be wearing lashes. Have you seen their lashes? Like, don't try to convince them and don't try to shame them into hearing about your opportunity. That's not the way to go. Let it go. If not, no big deal, okay? If they say yes, get them on an opportunity video. Get them in an opportunity group. Get them wherever your tool is that you want to use. Get them on the phone and talk to them. But that's when you open that door and say, oh, they just gave me the green light. I have totally got to do this. So if, let me see, where am I at? Okay, so just find out if they're open to hearing about it. If they're not, let it go. When is the right time? This is something that everyone asks me. When is the right time? When do I ask? And I just mentioned a minute ago, and I'll say it again, you really have to weigh this out yourself. You're talking to them, and you've got to see when is it a good time. If they're telling you that their dog just died, or that, you know, grandma's in the hospital, that's probably not the time to bring up red Aspen, okay? But if you're talking to them and it's going into, oh, you've been working for this company, you're unhappy, that might be the best time for you to say, would you be open? Okay? And I also would go ahead and say that if I've communicated with someone multiple times and there's conversation, this is on social media, this is not in person. If you're on social media and you're talking back and forth with a person for a long period of time and now you've just joined Red Aspen, it's okay to go to them and be like, hey, I don't know if you saw, or hey, you know, I am looking for referrals. Do you know anybody who wears lashes or who would rock this business? You can go to someone, but don't go to them and cold message them, okay? Talk to somebody that you've talked to before. So find that common ground, connect with them, find out, are they your cup of tea? Is it somebody you want to work with or a customer? And then go from there. Timing is everything, and you really can't just jump in there. You've got to weigh it out. Is it a good time? Is it a good time to talk about it? Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah. Listen to them, gather information, find out, like I said, are they struggling financially? Do they love makeup and lashes? Are they not happy in their current job? Are they expanding their family? Is there something happening at home where they're trying to move into another home? Is the husband laid off? Listen for clues that you can actually bring up the opportunity. And you want to help them. This isn't about you. Let's face it, it's not about you, it's about them. What can you do for them? How can you help them? Always think about that. How can you help them? This isn't about you. So the last thing I want to talk to you about is elevator pitch and what to say. And I'm going to give you a couple scripts on how to like respond to people or talk to people. And a lot of the stuff that I just told you that's on social media, you can do in person too. You're conversing with someone and you're talking to them at your kids' gymnastics and, oh, what do you do? That's so cool. So you're in banking. How long have you been there? Oh, you're in management. Talk to them and then get to the point where you get to talk about you. So elevator pitch, this is where this comes in handy. An elevator pitch is a brief speech that outlines an idea that can be delivered in the time that it takes you to ride an elevator. So a very short amount of time. They're quick, they're to the point, jam-packed with information. It's usually a couple sentences long. I want you to go check out the 60-second opportunity pitch worksheet that's in the Treehouse to help you develop your own. Jeannie, if you're still watching and you go grab that, drop it in the comments, that'd be great. If not, I'll do that afterwards. But go to the Treehouse, the link to that, and go pull that because it'll help you develop an elevator pitch. So putting it to use, how do you put that elevator pitch to use? Now you've got it, now what do you do with it? If you start a random conversation with someone, you're at the grocery line, you're talking to the checkout lady and you ask her, how long have you been doing this? Do you enjoy it? Be genuine, be interested, be actively entertained with what they're saying. Ask for details. If it suddenly stops and it gets quiet, it usually opens up an opportunity for them to ask you what you do, and now you've had that opportunity to give them that elevator pitch. The elevator pitch should include several things. Go look at that worksheet if you need help with it, but it could be as simple as just telling them who you are, what you do, why you do it. Quick, simple, easy. You're basically going to be telling them what you're doing for a living. So, worst case scenario though, in a grocery store, if they're not really giving you a whole lot of information, I've done this multiple times where I give them my card and I'm like, look me up on Facebook, I'd love to chat with you, okay? Or I have maybe my Facebook information on the card, I'm like, look me up, like friend me, or chat with me, like I'll see you next time, look me up, whatever. So, you can say something a little more detailed at this point, so you're not just saying, oh, I own a home-based business, and that's it. Now is the opportunity for you to actually speak up and share a little more information. So you could say something like, I own a home-based business, and our focus is to inspire women to stand up, stand out, and stand together by uniting passion with purpose. You can sit there and kind of open that up a little bit. You can also add a little more, maybe be like, I know you complimented my lashes when I first walked up, and that's how I do this. I inspire women and we use these lashes, these are our tools, aren't they beautiful? And get that conversation going. If you are standing next to someone and you're talking and you are, I love that, use a gift card to take them to coffee if local, love that. So if you are talking to someone and it opens up, you can suddenly get an idea. How many times have you been talking to someone and you're like, I just got an idea. How about we go get some coffee? Or, oh, I just got an idea. How about we go sit down and talk? Whatever. You come up with ideas, right? So you can come up with an idea while talking to someone and say, I just had an idea, and this may or may not be for you, but I just want to kind of throw this out there. Would you be open to a side opportunity that wouldn't interfere with blank? Blank is, are you a stay-at-home mom with 5 kids? Your job? Would you work at a restaurant? Your job in your office? Your job at the courthouse? Whatever. Would you be open to a side opportunity that wouldn't take up or wouldn't interfere with you being home with your kids, or wouldn't interfere with you working your job? If it's for you, great. If not, pass it on to your friends, change the subject at that point. So if you do bring something up and you say, hey, would you be open? And they say no, you change the subject and keep talking. If they say yes, shoot them over a text or give them your card. You exchange information. Say you're going to friend them on Facebook, whatever, to get them informed. And at that point, change the subject. Be very passive about it. Do not be aggressive. So when you're doing elevator pitches, you're not like, oh my gosh, you've got to check this out. You're being a little more passive, and if they say yes, they say yes. If they say no, no big deal, okay? So on social media, let's say that you brand yourself for motivating people and inspiring people. You could message someone and say, hey, I saw you on my Facebook Live. I hope that I inspired you. You may or may not know this, but I have a side business. I'm always looking for fabulous women to join or to work with, however you want to word it, and say, maybe I'm totally crazy, but I thought that you might be open to hearing about it. If not, totally cool, okay? One of my favorite things to do is if I have reached out to someone that I look at and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want her on my team. I will reach out to her and I'll say, hey, Jen, like, I love your post. You're so inspirational, or I love your vibe. You make me, it's just such a breath of fresh air not to see negativity all over your page. I would love to work with you. And this may or may not be something that you would be interested in, or this may or may not be for you, or this may or may not, you may or may not be open to it. There's lots of ways to say that. But I'm in the first social selling lash company, or, you know, I own this side business. Would you be open to hearing more about it? Would you be open to hearing about the opportunity, or however you want to say it? Like I said, there's multiple ways to say that. Again, you're going to end with, if not, no biggie. Like, don't harp on it. If they say no, they say no. So in closing, what I want to share with you is you are going to do things totally imperfect, and it's okay. It's okay to mess up. It's okay not to say the right thing. It's okay to stumble on your words. It's okay not to do everything exactly like the person in your life that you think is the most perfect. It's not going to happen. You're just not going to do it perfectly. It's okay to fall forward, okay? You need to focus on your actions. How many people are you talking to? I had a conversation with a girl earlier today, and she was telling me how many people she reaches out to on a daily basis and talks to on a daily basis. And afterwards, I really was trying to get it, helping her understand, and I want you to understand that the amount of people you talk to is going to dictate how well you're going to do in your business. It's going to dictate your success. That part of this is a numbers game. So if you are not reaching out to X amount of people every day, you're not going to get very far. If you're reaching out to 5 people and maybe 1 in 10 actually say yes, they'll look at the opportunity, not that they'll join, but they'll look at the opportunity, it's going to take you a long time to talk to people to get them interested, right? But if you were talking to 10 people, or you brought it up to 10 people, then one of those each day might say yes, they were interested in hearing more. Here's the thing though, if you're talking to 10 people and you never bring up Red Aspen, but only one time, then you're going to have to talk to how many people? Like 100 people just to get one person to bite, right? So when you're talking about these people, you're talking about those that you actually bring up the business, bring up the opportunity, bring up what you do. So that part of it is a numbers game. You've got to do it. You've got to reach out. You've got to talk to people if you want them to join you. You've got to tell them that you want them to join you. Focus on actions. Focus on how many people you're reaching out to, not the outcome, not how many people are joining you. As I'm wrapping this up, if you have any questions, comment below, and if I don't see them, I'll come back and answer them. But get addicted to the activity, not the outcome, okay? Not the results. And understand that people are going to say no. People are always going to say no. Don't let that hold you back from your success. Just keep going. Go for the no. If you've never read the book, Go for No, it's a day read. It's super easy. There's also a Go for No with network marketing. I totally suggest you listen or read that. It's really good. It helps you just understand that the more no's you get, the more yeses you get, okay? So that concept needs to be in your head. The no is not a big deal. Let it go. It's not a problem. It's not going to hinder you from success because someone told you no. How many times have you told a waiter or a waitress that you don't want any more water, or no, you don't want the dessert? They don't go and boohoo in the corner. You shouldn't either. Don't harp on that, all right? So I hope that this was very helpful for you. If you do have questions for me, please comment below. I will come back and I will answer them. I hope that you have an amazing week and end this month strong. I am so excited. We're nearing 1,000. Who's going to be the 1,000th? Brand ambassador. Y'all have a great night. Bye.